Can you hear me? So was my voice off the? If it is, I've been speaking. I've been just speaking to myself the whole time. So just let me know if you can. Okay. All right. So you found out that my voice was muted there. So thanks for pointing out that out. So that means I got to start thing all over again. So, okay. Um, joining. Uh, um, I decided to put up this stream to have a discussion about the COVID-19 virus and what and what impact it's going to have in the furry fandom for the near future. So, um, so I basically decided to do this stream today after two different events happened. First up is the travel ban that's been put in place, so no one can come from Europe to the United States for the next days. And I'll show the uh yeah, I know you have to see his, but bear with me. So what happened? Taking dramatic action when Trump had announced the sharply restricting passenger travel from 26 European nations to the United States to move and moving it to ease the economic cost of the pandemic that is troubling global financial markets and disrupting the daily lives of Americans. So once again, so that means that travel will not be allowed from there again to the United States for the next. Now, according to the restrictions would not apply to the United Kingdom, and would be exemptions for Americans who have gone through appropriate screenings. Those are his words, and would not apply to cargo. So if you already had, if you already been screened, you should be able to get through. So if you are in the United Kingdom, according to what I'm here, you should still be able to travel. It's, some sound hiccups. Yeah, it shouldn't be doing. Um, I'll see if I can fix the sound. But in the meantime, we'll continue. But so has really this has affected everybody. Um, yeah. No, the yeah. I'll get to the statistics of the virus in just a little bit, but um, so that so what recapping what we've gone through for the past couple of months. Since the virus started in China, um, the planes that come from there had been restricted to 5 different airports, and all had to go through additional screening. So now it's been restricted even more because of this virus, and it's more of an attempt to stop it. And so, like I said, I've never seen anything like this before. If you ever played the game Big Inc, that pretty much reminds me of. But yeah, I'll get into the actual virus in a few minutes. But so yeah, that was one of the things that happened that made me want to start a stream. The story that came up was that the National Basketball Association, the NBA, has suspended their season. This comes after one of their players from the Utah Jazz has tested positive for the coronavirus, COVID-19. I should say COVID-19. That is the name of it. Coronavirus is actually of the virus. There's strains of it, but the one that we have here is very new, and we're still trying to learn a lot. So after what happened, after one of their players tested positive, the NBA is going to stop all their games until further notice. Now, whether they'll restart the season is anybody's guess. They're going to take the to discuss this and determine what they're going to do, whether they're going to delay the schedule or we're going to end the season right there. And it can happen because some soccer leagues have ended their season early. And just to be clear, nobody wants to do this. Nobody. But they will if they have to. All right, so those are the two reasons why I decided to stream. So I'm going to be discussing what the COVID-19 virus is, how this is going to impact the furry fandom in the near future, what might happen, might be doing for the next few months or so. And feel free to any questions in the chat. Try the best I can to answer them. Disclaimer, I am not a doctor, nor do I claim, but all the information that I do have comes from actual medical professionals, and I get it from the Centers for Disease Control. So I'm getting the most accurate information that I currently have. So I'm going to try the best I can to answer them, but just to be very clear, if you fear that you are sick, please see a doctor, okay? That's the best course of action if you think that you've caught something. So what is the COVID-19? Well, COVID-19 is pretty much short for coronavirus disease 2019. What is that? It's a coronavirus, and it was discovered in 2019. The current statistics I have, confirmed cases 126,264. There's been 4,633 deaths related to cases, but however, over half of those that have been infected did recover, and that is an important point which I will get to. So, what are the symptoms of the COVID-19 virus? Now, this is really important here. Now, the symptoms anywhere from 2 to 15 days. And why they are quarantining people to stay for at least 2 weeks if they've been exposed to anybody. The symptoms are fever, cough, and shortness of breath. Now, there are other symptoms, more severe cases, but these are common ones. And it can be difficult to tell. It is very close to what it is. So you won't be able to tell way that you've caught the COVID-19 virus. Now, if you have been in an area where there has been an outbreak, you've been near a person that's known to have carried the virus, then what you should do is to call your doctor's office, let them know that you've been near a person, been in an area that has been exposed to the virus, and this is to get their place set up to isolate you from everyone else at their office, so they limit the risk of spreading the virus. So then you can see them, and they'll test you and see if you do have the virus. So these three symptoms here, those are the most common symptoms. Uh, there are some severe ones for more serious cases, but most of the time, 80% these are pretty much what you'll just mild cases. The more severe case tends to be in people that are elderly, or they have a pre-existing condition. That's where the more severe cases are, and that's something that I wish that cover more is that just put out the death number, but they lack the context of it. Again, most of them are either from people that are 70s or 80s or older, or they have some sort of condition, whether that includes their lung, anything that can be affected by the virus. The steps to prevent the should be simple. Just wash your hands at least 20 minutes in warm water. That's the easiest thing to do. And one thing that I know it's hard to do is to avoid your face at all. Yeah, I'm just trying to adjust my glasses here. Don't worry, I've washed before I came on, so that is the easiest way to do it. Now, if it is unavailable, you can use hand sanitizer, and I know it's been really hard to find hand sanitizer recent. I've been to town here for 10 different stores. I could not find one. A single bottle. The whole town sold out, and I'm in the middle of nowhere. But there has been that Target, they're going to be limiting the number of hand sanitizer bottles they give to one. I believe that number was 6 bottles, which I think is a little much. Publix, a grocery, they're limiting to 2 bottles, which I think is reasonable. But if you do manage to find hand sanitizer, make sure it is at least 60% alcohol. That is where it will be most effective. If you anyone that is sick, avoid close contact with them. Say to keep at least. I've heard some say 3, but a safer number would be 6. And of course, goes without saying, if you are sick, please stay home. Don't make it worse for everybody else. Okay. Cover coughs and sneezes. Cover your mouth and nose. Use a cough, or use the side of your elbow, that is to limit the amount of drops that come out of your mouth. In fact, I think the Mythbusters did a test on this, and found that coughing or into your elbow is actually the best way to prevent spreading blitz. Let's see. Your used dishes in the trash lying around, and then really wash your hands right after. Now this is something that has been a big misconception. The face mask. I know that it's very tempting to get face, but unless you are actually sick, you should not be getting. Those are not designed for people who are well. Because what that face mask does is that when you put it around your mouth, whenever you cough or sneeze, it gets all those droplets and prevents it from spread. That's what that mask is for. Yes, there are people who are not sick that do these, but these are for that are uh, taking care of someone who is or is someone who is working in the medical industry. So unless you're one of these, you should not be. Clean and disinfect touched surfaces, tables, doorknobs, light switches, tops, handles, desks, phones, toilets, faucets, and sinks. Um, Pretty much any good will do. I even have some wipes that could be useful. Uh, let's see. Just checking the chat. Uh, all right, so yeah, like I said, if you have questions, just feel free in the chat, and I'll do the best I can to that for you. I've already told you what you should do. Sick. Yeah, this is another thing that's been going on. The stigma of it. Ever since, um, ever since the virus has been spreading, there's been instances where people have been discriminated, especially from China, and I've a lot of these stories. There was an incident where I think it was in Australia, I think, where someone coughed and like an argument on over that. But this just please, this is not their fault. Just show them some respect. If they are again, keep a distance 6 feet. That's about the most conservative number I have for you. Let's see what else we got. I should note that there is no vaccine. There's no antiviral this disease, but they are working on it. It will be about at least a year before the vaccine is ready. In the meantime, the best you can do is try to treat symptoms, and that includes over the counter medicine. So those are your best things to do. Now, how is this going to affect the furry fandom? Well, this could lead to some events being affected. Past week, Santa Clara County in California has recently put in a ban of gatherings than 1,000 people. Now, this would mean that something like Furry Fusion they had there back in January. So if they were to, if any con were to have occurred in Santa Clara County, and by the way, the city of San Francisco did the same. If any con were in either of those areas, unless they could limit their people to under 1,000, they wouldn't be able to do their convention. They either had to delay or cancel it. And like further confusion was really to have their con occur in January, because under circumstances now they wouldn't be able to hold it. And now this can especially be a problem with other big conventions. Like the next one, I believe, is biggest little fur in Reno. Who knows what the status is going to be when months pass by. Then it is a furry weekend at Atlanta, and Atlanta is a very busy area. The airport over there is one of the busiest in the world, if not the busiest. So this means millions of people crossing through that airport, and especially in the downtown area, it will be very busy, and it is a very likely place for a virus to spread. Now, the CDC has stated that there are risk levels to when a virus spread. Like if you're just passing someone, you should be fine. If you get in like if you get within 6 feet for just a few minutes, you have low risk. Any more than that, you're at a medium. And if the person is like sneezing and coughing, or if you have contact with the person or the surface that they touch, you're at a high risk of contracting the disease. And just think about if there was one furry that did contract and they went to a convention, considering how close furries are, it can definitely spread pretty quick. So I would expect that if conventions were able to get like sanitizer or wipes, it would be a help to try to fight this spread. Now there are conventions in California that have already been canceled, which is very unfortunate. Mostly like I don't know if it's comic cons or anime conventions. I'm not really too sure. There was a couple of conventions in Orlando, Florida, including a medical conference that was, and I've seen that particular convention center huge. So yeah, whether furry conventions decide to continue with their events is really going to be up to them. I tell you what what the status of is going to be within the next or so with this travel in place these in these uh, bans on gatherings and tonight with the NBA suspending their season, this is serious. One, but it is important that alert, but do not panic because it's happened way too easy. And people have been paying sanitizer and the toilet paper thing. I never really understood. Is why is people buying out the toilet paper? Let's see. The now, what steps furries take at convention to try to limit that spread other than sanitizer or in contact with which especially that is hard because they're that everyone like asking for hugs all the time. Let's see. Well, like I said, aside from uh, washing hands and practicing good hygiene, this is going this is going to have to be a effort. This is not going to be to one person. Everybody needs to be doing the same thing. And by the way, AnthroCon put out a statement. Let me see. And see. Here we go. recently put out a statement concerning COVID-19. It's basically saying that they don't plan on canceling or delaying the convention as of right now. And they have been in contact with the local health organization as well as getting updates from the CDC, just like giving it to you right now. There are a few plans of action that they may put in. First, they may restrict attendance of those who are coming from areas where the virus has not been contained, which could possibly China, or as of right now, Italy. The number of cases has gone up to 1,000 the last time I checked. Let's see who else has. We need to see a breakdown of. Yeah, right now, most of the cases right now is China mainland. That's pretty much expected. It's at 80,709 cases, but the number of recoveries is pretty high. 62,709 have recovered, which is a pretty good number considering what they've gone through. Next up, Italy, 12,402 confirmed cases. Only 1,045 have recovered. This virus pretty fast. And also had 827. Next up, Iran, 9,000 confirmed cases. Almost 3,000 have recovered, and 354 reported there. So, what else? Korea, and I'm assuming South Korea. I don't think about if they got one from Korea. 7,755 confirmed cases, 288 recovery. So, still a lot of infections there, and it's really in in South Korea. France, they got 2,281 confirmed. Only 12 have recovered this time. Here in the States, we have 1,004 confirmed cases, only 10 recoveries right now, and 31. Yes, they have put in a stat sheet for the cruise ship Diamond Princess. 680 confirmed cases there. 407 have recovered, so progress. And in Japan, 620 confirmed cases, 2 recoveries, and 14 deaths, which is actually a pretty number considering how densely populated that country is. Back to Anthropon. So the first one they made attendance that come from that have controlled the virus. So China, considering they may let them, considering that a lot have recovered from the virus now, but considering that it was the order, we'll see. Right now, I think it's just Italy and France, I think, would be affected by this. Yeah, I'm just yes. Number 2, we may require attendees who show symptoms of illness remain away from the convention and encourage those who are prior to departure to consider home. So yes, if you end up getting symptoms while you're at a convention, please go back to your room and stay there, okay? And this goes with kind of illness, okay? So just stay there, just get worse for anybody else, okay? And, yeah, if you are sick prior to departure, again, just stay home. There will be other conventions to do. Plus, you can always try to ask for a refund, and I'm sure much more flexible situation going on. So if you're unable to, you can ask for a refund, and I'm sure they'll work something out. And I need a drink. Ah. All right, number 3. Just that attendees refrain from one another. While this is, of course, a cherished tradition, it is unwise in an atmosphere where contagion may be lurking. And it's going to be a hard one to control. I mean, they can't outright ban hugging one another. The best they can do is discourage it. Like I said, this is going to be something that's going to be considering that they do all the time. We'll see how that works. Number 4. We fully intend to provide hand sanitizer to our attendees in numerous stations or portable bottles. Time few, if any, suppliers are able to meet the demand. However, we've already placed a substantial order for hand sanitizer, which we expect to receive in May of 2020. Now, to my knowledge, companies are a priority for sanitizer because of many people are going their business, and this is going to be especially important. Something like Anthrocon, which they get, they're almost 5-digit mark on attendance. They're definitely going to need that hand sanitizer. I'm planning to go. I don't know how many they order. I assume it's a big. Let's see. And the company in I think it was Ohio, where Purell is located. They're working in overdrive right now. They're trying to as they can to meet the demand. They're just overwhelmed right now. Number 5, hotels provide ample supply of soap. Widespread agreement among the medical community that simply washing often for at least 20 seconds at a time is the most effective of stopping the spread of coronavirus, such as COVID-19. Yeah, so yeah, this is pretty much the easiest way of trying to fight viruses is just wash your hands. Hand sanitizer should be used if soap and water is not available. So if you're unable to find hand sanitizer, don't worry. A simple soap and water. Number 6. In the event that local, national, or international authorities advise that the convention not take place, may be forced to cancel or postpone the event. Should it be necessary, we will make a decision at that time as to disposition of membership fees at to date. So, yeah, just like I said, if for any reason that they're unable to do this, or if you're unable to attend, they'll be doing refunds. And again, if you have it and you're not able to go, you can ask for one. And just a reminder that they once again do not intend to they intend to cancel the and consider this is going to be in July. They still have plenty of time to monitor the situation and see what they can do. BLFC setting thing. I'll see on their Twitter. Hang Uh, again, if any questions, reminder to put it in the chat, and I'll do what I can um, to answer that for you. Yeah, here it is for BLFC. Can you guys see that? There we go. It says we do not have no plans to postpone or cancel BLFC in response to COVID-19. We are working closely with the hotel to implement additional sanitation measures and precautions to prevent disease in general and are closely monitoring developments. More information will soon follow. Again, BLFC is not intended to make any changes, but they are to put in some more sanitation efforts in cooperation with Grand Sierra Resort. Considering that the Grand Sierra is a popular hotel and people go there all the time, yeah, to do that. I do wonder about a free weekend. Let's see. Let's see if they've posted anything on it. It does not look like free week in Atlanta has anything yet. Let's see. Do they have like a maybe isn't it press and media? No, this is just about them. Right now, it doesn't have any information what they're going to do about it. But I imagine that they will put out something very soon. Let's see. So yes, so as of now, there is no convention at this time that is planning to cancel or postpone. But we're going to keep an eye on the situation, and if anything changes, I'll be passing it on to you. But this would be something to more keep an eye on bigger conventions right now. For any small convention, right now, the only ones that would be affected are either those in the out or I guess something like New York City, Washington, or if you're one of the ban areas like Santa Clara County or San Francisco. All right. I think I've pretty much gone through everything I need to talk about as far as COVID-19. Like I said, if you have any questions, go ahead and put in the chat. I'll see what I can do to answer those. Let's see. Yeah, while I'm on the topic, I should probably talk travel. Um, right now, been a decrease in the number of flights. People have been canceling their reservations on flights. Um, the airlines are trying to cut the number of flights they fly domestically and internationally. Uh, One thing has been waived is something called the 80 rule. So basically, what that is that airlines they pay for routes that they fly. They these, and the highest bidder gets to fly these routes. But there's a rule that says that you have to fly at least 80% that you have. If you do not fly at least of those routes, you lose them and they will go back to the market. And some of the flights have been empty. And airlines don't want to do that because they lose money from it. Because if there's no one sitting in those, they don't make a profit to end up wasting gas and also paying their employees, well, which even their job, they're not making a profit off of it. So, even Southwest Airlines recently put out a letter to everyone saying that they're stepping up sanitation efforts. They use hospital grade sanitizer for the lavatories. They now said that they're going to use a particular sanitizer for the whole plane. They've used a different sanitizer for the tray tables. They do that every night. Like when all the flights are done, they clean up the entire plane. Now, when they're, of course, do that between flights, they just have to do a basic cleanup, pick up trash. When when you go to these flights, it would be a good idea to take some sanitizing wipes to wipe down the tray, the seats, the armrests, thing that is in proximity that you could touch, even the air conditioning. So take some wipes and just wipe them down before you take your seat. And I know there's going to be questions about you being in this big metal tube for like 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever, and the possibility of someone being in that is sick. What I can tell you is that thing you're going to have to try to go for the 6 foot rule. And but what I will say is that the airplanes have one of the most efficient filters in that particular plane. They cycle the air like every 2 or 3 minutes, and half the air is recycled and it goes to the filter, and the other half of that air is what they call the bleed air system, which is air fed from the engines, and if technical, it comes from the 5th and 9th stage compressor of those engines, and they get pushed into the air conditioning system where fresh air. More complicated than that, but that's the basic. But they have a very very effective put out any parts, so they have well thought out. Take the wipes if you're going by train. Well, I been on like Amtrak. I've only been on um, metro trains like Chicago's L. Probably get to wipe those down too. Even gonna be in there for like about most an hour. You know, it goes with like any metro line, Amtrak. Just keep down whatever you do and just keep your distance with people that show symptoms. Um, let's see if there's anything else I need to discuss. Saying all this before I go to tomorrow, where there is Blue Ridge Fur, and I'm gonna be DJing over there on day, and this is a where they're doing the first time pretty much a replacement of Anthropos rotis, which only lasted for 1 year, and then oh, excuse me, it went on. I did say on a high, but now I'm not sure if it is going to come back because it was internal issues. It was more like staffing problems. I don't know the exact specific of it, but that's generally what it is. So this is basically so the what it is for Blue Ridge Fur Fair. They're new, so it's going to be small. So risk of it spreading there is going to be pretty low. Just joining, we're having a discussion on 19 and what impact this is going to have on the furry fandom. Just talking for the past few minutes about convention and how this affect them. I've, I've so many things about it. I'm not sure I have anything else. Okay, now I'm a little curious. Communication strategies for New Rochelle, New York State, and Seattle, Washington. I'm aware of Santa Clara. What's going on with New Rochelle? CDC's recommendation for the next 30 days of mitigation strategies for New Rochelle, New York. Yeah, it's pretty much just said from what I'm reading. Here's one here. Individuals at risk of illness should stay at home, avoiding gatherings or other situations of potential exposures, including travel, church attendance, social events with 10 per people. So that one's they're more discouraging as little as people. And what about so Seattle, Washington? They're doing. Like, schools are arranging for students at risk of severe illness to be able to implement individual plans for distance learning or e-learning, implementing social distance measures, including large gatherings, postpone athletic events, limit all classroom mixing, after schedules to reduce mixing. So it's pretty much yeah, they're pretty much saying. So that's what they're saying. What are they saying about Santa Claus? Santa Clara County did the ban themselves. Okay, I don't think I have anything else to add. Okay, so I think I end it here just because I think I said all I could. But if you want more information about the COVID-19 virus, you can visit the Centers for Disease Control. That's cdc.gov. Coronavirus 2019-NCOV. They'll have information what you need to know about it. And if you any live event, any furry, keep an eye on their media feeds. Check dates and be practice your good hygiene. Wash your hands. Use sanitizer. Whatever you need to do to fight off this virus, and keep on using that 6 rule. So that's going to be it. And I am going to be heading to Asheville tomorrow. So till then, stay safe, everybody, and